Today we'll be talking with Adva Saldinger, who is in New York City covering the BSR annual gathering, which this year is focused on transparency and transformation. And Adva, I understand there's been a bunch of calls for business to collaborate more on social issues around the world.
Absolutely. You know, things kicked off here with Indra Nooyi, PepsiCo's CEO, talking about the dangers of short-termism and the importance of really long-term thinking and planning for corporations. And she really issued a call to action for what she called ruthless collaboration by businesses, and not only, you know, with businesses and other stakeholders, but among businesses to really tackle some of the greatest social challenges of our time.
And I understand there's been a particular focus also on Myanmar, one of the countries, of course, that just recently has opened up more to the international community as well as to business.
Yeah, you know, really interesting, frank conversation by some of the companies who are moving in or looking to move into Myanmar about some of the challenges and realities of working on the ground. Heard from the mobile network operator Telenor about some of the safeguards they're putting in place, and really the levels of transparency that they've reported when they've found child labor in their workforce, and really taken a lot of steps to mitigate that, and some of the challenges around land tenure and some of the other things that they're facing there. And also on the rules and regulatory side, heard from Marks and Spencer about some of the work that they're doing and trying to bring things up to code so you don't see a replication of some of the challenges that happened in Bangladesh in the garment industry.
Interesting. And you mentioned transparency. What were some of the other buzzwords that you picked up at the conference?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think part of what we're hearing here is really about building the case about sustainability. A lot of talk about climate change and the environment. We heard from Maersk CEO Nils Andersen about some of the work that his company is doing to reduce CO2 emissions, and about how they've been able to do that while still, you know, growing the company and being profitable. We're also hearing about other social issues. Heard from H&M's CEO Carl-Johan Persson earlier today about some of the work they're doing on a living wage, and how, you know, they're willing to pay more for products so that their suppliers can pay their workers a living wage, and finding ways to, you know, even if they have smaller margins, not pass on those costs to consumers, but do the sustainable and proper social thing while also continuing to make a profit. And I think there's a lot of conversation around building that business case, a lot of, you know, dialogue between civil society and government and these big corporations about other things as well, about, you know, do you need more regulation, or can voluntary frameworks like the UN Principles for Business and Human Rights really work well enough on their own?
And many of those topics, of course, we've been covering very well at DevEx Impact, and I know you've been tracking and you're continuing to track these as well for DevEx.com. So what do we have coming up?
Sure. I mean, I think you'll see more certainly about the business environment in Myanmar, and some of Indra Nooyi's suggestions for some of the key questions that companies and really investors and the world at large need to be asking about how to make businesses more socially responsible and accountable for their choices.
And all of that, of course, is on the DevEx website, so I look forward to seeing some of your coverage there, and hope you guys will join us there.
Absolutely. Thank you.